Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day so far, and if you're back, welcome back. I hope you're having a lovely day as well. Merry Christmas, happy holidays my friends. When you're watching this, it is going to be Christmas Eve, and I just want to extend a very, very warm welcome to you if you are joining us live for this premiere. Be sure to click on the live chat button if you are watching this first hour that it goes up so that you can talk along with everyone, and hopefully I can keep you a little bit of company. A huge thank you to Crashley for organizing this Crafting is for Christmas event. This has been going on for a few years now. It's become a really lovely annual event that's been put on by, it was put on by Pippa before, and Crashley is handling coordinating everything this year. And what this is that for all of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, for about 48 hours here, every hour there is going to be a different creator who has a premiere that is live. If you're newer to YouTube and you're not sure what a premiere is, it's kind of a combination of a live and a pre-recorded video. So it's a pre-recorded video, so I'm not actually watching the chat right now and answering verbally, but I will be hanging out and typing and hanging in the chat with you guys. So hi! That chat will be live and the video will air as if it's alive for that first hour. So like I said, look for that live chat button. If you're watching the replay, the live chat replay should be up as well. So you're welcome to leave comments on the video after the first hour that this has gone up. So hopefully this set of premieres every hour helps you feel like you're maybe a little bit less lonely and that you have some company on these holidays. So even if you're not celebrating Christmas, this can still sometimes be a hectic time of year, and this can just be a chance to slow down and take a little breather, or even just to have some company while you're running last minute errands and whatnot. So let me know what you're up to, and I'm gonna dive right in. Here's what I'm planning to do today for this hour together. I'm gonna do this kind of whip and chat style. I have one of my seasonal holiday kits that I'm gonna be working on and diamond painting with you guys. Feel free to watch or just listen along. And I pulled up a list of tag questions, and I would love to hear your answers to these along with me if you're watching this live in the live chat, or feel free to answer some of them down in the comments. Hopefully this will be a fun way to just chat and hang out, and I'll be doing a little bit of diamond painting as we go as well. Just to do a super quick snapshot of what I'm working with, I'm actually going to be using the same supplies that I used in my most recent whip and chat. So I'm still working on the kit Season Bright from Bella Safina, and I have lots of kind of holiday-esque supplies I'll be using. I have these pens. This one's from Van Latheworks. This one's from Stilos de Kawa. The tray is from Muni Made. I'm using Scented Putty from Randa's Crafty Corner, and this is Not Your Mama's Mud. And then the minders are from Galloway's Gallery. If you're interested in checking out any of these shops for yourself, take a look into the description box just below this video. Unfortunately, I believe this specific diamond painting kit is out of stock. I'm not sure if they're planning to restock it, but I purchased it last year and just didn't have the chance to work on it till this year. But hopefully, they have some other cute holiday kits in stock that you could go and still browse and shop around a little bit anyway. So let me grab a color. We'll start working. We've got this really cute little white teddy bear going on in this section. We'll see, we might finish this section and I might have to open up another one, but we'll just kind of take it one bit at a time, and we'll kind of go through some of these Christmassy tag questions again. Before I start, I just want to send some love and light out to you guys. I know that for some, the holidays can be a little bit difficult mental health wise. If you're new to my channel and aren't necessarily familiar, I am really transparent and supportive when it comes to those that struggle with their mental health, because I am right there with you. And so I feel like the holidays and the end of the year and everything can just often be kind of difficult for people. And so I want to acknowledge that and just let you know that you are very much not alone, and I'm thinking of you, and I hope you know that you're very, very, very loved. So anyway, let's go ahead, and I grabbed a color. We're gonna get started, and I am gonna kind of look at these tag questions and try to pull some ones that I like. There's a lot here. So first up, what is your favorite Christmas carol? Okay, so traditional Christmas carol. For me, I'll start with that at least. Growing up, oops, let me just go ahead and start out by smacking the recording arm. Growing up, my family went to Christmas Eve services at our church, and our church always ended the Christmas Eve service with a candlelight portion where they'd turn off all the lights. Everyone had candles that we would, like, one person would light theirs, and then we would pass along the light, and we would sing Silent Night. And that always was really meaningful to me as a child. And I remember always, like, it gave me chills, and it just felt like a really magical moment. And so Silent Night always has a really special place in my heart. I also really enjoy Oh Holy Night. I think that, especially as a musician, I have so much love and appreciation for that song from a musical perspective. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And if I'm going to go like the secular route, can we say All I Want for Christmas Is You is a Christmas carol? Because I feel like that's just become iconic at this point. I've seen some hysterical TikToks and reels of people just doing silly things with the Queen of Christmas's carol. So we'll go with those are my answers, sort of my traditional Christmas carol answers, as well as something that's a little more, I don't know the word I'm looking for is tongue-in-cheek, I suppose, or silly. So what about you guys? Favorite Christmas carol? Next question, which Christmas candles are your favorite? I don't currently really burn candles in my home because my youngest kiddo, we affectionately call him a tiny tornado. I feel like having something burning in the house, like, that's probably not the best idea, so we just don't. We also just got a kitten, and so again, I'm feeling like open flame, maybe not the best idea. But I used to be a lot more into burning candles in my home. And when I was a huge fan of the 3-wick candles from Bath & Body Works. I was an expert at waiting and shopping for the sales. You guys know that, what was it, like twice a year was candle sale day, when those candles went down to whatever crazy amazing price it was, which truly just meant that it was more of a reasonable price as opposed to like outrageously overpriced like most of Bath & Body Works stuff. So their 3-wick candles were my favorite. I really, really love the scent Frosted Cranberry for winter. That's been a longtime favorite of mine. I actually still have that scent in, like, I use like the plug-in wallflowers from Bath & Body Works, and like their hand soaps. Like, I shop their hand soap sales as well. And Frosted Cranberry is always a favorite of mine this time of year. I like those fruity scents, but not something that's like overpoweringly sweet, you know? Like, they have some scents that are like, you know, sugar cookie icing bomb or something, and it's so overpoweringly sweet that it almost makes me feel nauseous to sniff at, but I'm a little more sensitive when it comes to smells. So that's probably my favorite. I like the candles that have the wood wick that crackles. Those are really neat too, but I haven't got one of those in a really long time, but that's just like a fun effect. So yeah, I think that's probably my favorite Christmas candle. Number 3, next question. What is the best gift you've ever received for Christmas? This is a trap is what this is. Gosh, this is tough. As I've gotten older, I have definitely moved away from wanting and appreciating things like objects for Christmas, like material objects. And I feel like my millennial or my ages show or something where I'm like, I love experiences. So like last year I was like, for Christmas, what I really would like is to be able to go to like a supernatural convention and travel to Texas to meet my friend Jacqueline, who I met online through diamond painting. Like, these are the kinds of things that I would like for Christmas. I don't feel like I need more stuff. What I enjoy is more experiences when that's practical or possible. There was one year that we had specifically asked family members for like Disney gift cards to put towards annual passes for Disneyland, stuff like that. And things that just kind of extend the enjoyment throughout the year. And just, I don't know, I'm just at that point, I guess, where I really love and appreciate getting to do like new things or have like these special experiences over having new things, like objects. So I don't know. What about you guys? Again, I feel like this question is a little bit of a trap, especially if we have loved ones listening in. Like, are you going to say the thing I got you? So that's my cop-out answer, I suppose. Let's see. The next question. What is your usual plan for Christmas? Well, it varies a little bit, and this year is actually a bit of a change for us. We have, for the past over a decade, we've lived across the country from all of our family. And so for us, most of the time, Christmas and the holidays involves traveling because that's when we have time off work or the kids have off school. And it just makes the most sense to try to travel and see people and that sort of thing. And also just kind of felt like, well, we want to be with family on Christmas, like our parents and stuff, like, and siblings and stuff like that. This year, though, we do have some family that recently moved out here, and so our Christmas plans get to look a little bit different. To be honest with you, we still haven't nailed down, as of the time of this filming, exactly what that's going to look like, but I think that we're going to be spending Christmas Eve together. It's possible that I'm going to be listening from my in-laws' house here while we may be letting the kiddos run around and have fun, or we may do Christmas Day with them. I'm not totally sure. Either way, we're staying local for Christmas this year, and we are planning to fly back because my parents still live in the Midwest. We are planning to fly back over a long holiday weekend in January and see my parents, and my brother's gonna fly in. So yeah, for us, Christmas has always involved some kind of travel. Even growing up, it was that way because we lived a few hours from my cousins and aunts and uncles and my grandma. And so often we would wake up, do Christmas morning at home, and then hop in the car. So I guess for me, Christmas has always been a little bit synonymous with travel of some kind, and I don't mind it, but it'll be kind of nice to have a Christmas at home and kind of see what that feels like too. Next question is, oh, this is kind of a fun one. I always love hearing what people say for this one. How do you decorate your Christmas tree? We try to get an ornament each year for each person that's meaningful in some way. And then we decorate our tree with those ornaments. I know a lot of people really enjoy doing like a coordinating sort of tree where maybe it looks a little bit different each year. Like, oh, this year we're going to have like a pink tree or, these colors or this thing. And, whatever you enjoy, I love it for you. I've always really enjoyed like unpacking and going through and hanging up the ornaments and sort of like reminiscing and going like, oh, this was this ornament that I got this year and it was meaningful because we did this thing. Or like, for example, like, there's one year that Connor has like a PJ Masks themed ornament because he was really into that show that year. This year he's probably going to get some kind of kitten related ornament because he got a kitten as an early Christmas gift, stuff like that. So how about you? How do you like to decorate your tree? And as a spin-off of that, again, this one's kind of a fun question, I think. What do you put at the top of your tree? We have always been like an angel at the top of the tree kind of family. Like, I was that way growing up. But this year, I've been wanting to do this for a while. We're shifting over to it being a star. I just kind of like that a little bit better, I think. For us, anyway, I just am kind of ready for that change. But you guys, like I said, I love this question because sometimes people have the funniest and quirkiest answers to this. So what do you put at the top of your tree? Especially if it's something like, I don't know, just really different than sort of what most people do, I suppose. All right, next question. What is your favorite Christmas movie? I will start this off by saying that I will go ahead and say that yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. My favorite Christmas movie. Okay, well, I understand that like as time has gone on, there are parts of this movie that have not aged spectacularly well, but I am going to embrace the stereotype here and say that Love Actually will probably always be one of my favorite Christmas movies. Like I said, I understand that there are parts of it that are problematic and that there are a lot of parts of it that like get made fun of a lot now. But I just have lots of fond associations with that movie, and like that's just not gonna go away. Also, I adore Alan Rickman, R.I.P. and I love so many of the actors in that movie, and there's a lot about it that's really heartwarming, even if it is a little silly and over the top sometimes. So I'd probably go with that. Other favorite Christmas movies, like growing up, we watched a lot of like the classic, like stop motion, like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph. I remember Rudolph. There are parts of that like even as a kid were like really sad and depressing to me. But like some of those classic movies, I know some people really like movies like It's a Wonderful Life. What others did I grow up watching? Like I grew up watching like Miracle on 34th Street. Some people are like Charlie Brown Christmas. For some reason, I didn't ever really get as much into Charlie Brown Christmas. Like, I saw it, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite. There's lots of good Christmas movies out there. Are you the kind of person, like, do you watch all the Hallmark Christmas movies? I have never watched a Hallmark Christmas movie. I just have seen various things that have sort of teased about, like, the formula and the silliness of them. But again, if you love it, I love it for you. I don't know. I've never gotten into like the Hallmark Christmas movie craze. Should I check that out, or am I good? Am I not missing out too much? Let's see. Next, okay, these are strange questions, so let's skip ahead. What is your favorite Christmas fragrance? Okay. I am considering this slightly different from the Christmas candle question, because I'm going to state a controversial opinion here and add it like a spin-off question. So the question that I asked was, what's your favorite Christmas fragrance? And for some of you, especially those of you that love having a live tree in your house, I wonder if you're going to be like, pine, the scent of a real Christmas tree. And I'm going to be the person that sits here and goes, I think that the scent of pine from a real Christmas tree is suffocating, and it bothers my nose. So honestly, I feel like that's one of the reasons that like we don't have a real Christmas tree. There's a number of reasons. We had a real Christmas tree for several years, mostly because it was less expensive than buying an artificial Christmas tree. And it was kind of an ongoing argument that my husband and I would have every year, and it would always come back to, well, a real Christmas tree is less expensive than an artificial one. I know long-term artificial ends up being less expensive and all that, but I was like, I'm always the one cleaning up the mess of the needles. Like, I just feel like there's sap and there's needles everywhere. Again, I felt like the scent was a little bit suffocating. It was just a little much. And I grew up with a fake tree. Like, we had the same artificial tree like my whole childhood, and I never knew anything different. And I didn't realize until like my husband and I started dating way back when that he like straight up turns his nose up at artificial trees and is like, an artificial tree? Are you gonna have a fake Christmas too? And I'd be like, what are you talking about? But some people are very, very passionate like about their real tree versus artificial tree. So that's going to be part 2 of this question in my little, like, I'm editing this a little bit. So not only what is your favorite Christmas fragrance, like, is it pine? Are you one of those people that's like, yes, the smell of Christmas tree pine gives me life? And are you a real tree, like a live tree, or an artificial tree family? My apologies for any debates that I may ignite in the live chat. And in the comments section even. But I don't judge you if you choose to get a live tree. Just don't judge me for my artificial tree. As far as actually answering the question of what my favorite Christmas fragrance is, I'm probably just going to go back to that frosted cranberry scent that I was talking about. Sorry, Adam is under the weather. He caught whatever bug the kids and I had, and so he was going to jump in and join me, but he just isn't feeling up to chatting. He's sniffling and coughing over there. I'm hoping by Christmas Eve, by the time this video goes up, hopefully he'll be feeling much, much better, and maybe I'll drag him into the live chat to answer some of these questions with me. Anyway, so live tree, artificial tree. Otherwise, what's your favorite fragrance? Next question. What do you like the most during Christmas? Okay, this is a really open-ended question. What do you like the most during Christmas? What's your favorite thing about Christmas? I love Christmas cookies. My mom makes a really amazing variety of Christmas cookies, and she's mailing some out to us so we can have some on Christmas Day. And then she's going to have plenty there for when we're there in January. I'm going to spin off this question as well. So first, what do you like most during Christmas? Let me add another thought to that, and then I'll add my spin-off question. Other things I really love about Christmas is I just enjoy that dedicated family time. There can be some stress and anxiety surrounding that for me sometimes, but ultimately I like the chance to get, some time, Adam having off work, family having off work, and getting some dedicated time with the kiddos and with family. I find that to be special and meaningful, and I'm appreciating Christmas all the more now that I have kids, because I feel like I'm just sort of re-experiencing it in that way, and the fun and the joy that comes with that. Again, not to sound like a Hallmark commercial or a Hallmark card, but that's what I enjoy. I like some of the Christmas music, especially because I managed to not get tired of it, because I don't really start in on the Christmas music until closer to actual Christmas. I don't start listening to it in October like some of you really excited Christmas people do. So those are kind of my favorite things, just sort of about those are the things that I like most during Christmas, the cookies, and seeing it through my kiddos' eyes and that sort of thing. My spin-off question, because I was talking about just how Christmas cookies are one of my favorite things, my spin-off question is, what is your favorite kind of Christmas cookie? Like I said, my mom makes a ton of different kinds of cookies. It comes a little bit from where she grew up. There's a high Italian population there, and baking is a really big thing, for events with them. For example, we had what was called a cookie table at our wedding. And it was a traditional thing, and it wasn't literally just oh, here's a table with some cookies. It was a thing that family members would be okay, I'm gonna bring this kind of cookie, and they would bring dozens and dozens of that kind of cookie. And it wasn't there was just one 7-foot table with cookies. There were multiple 7-foot tables piled high with a million different kinds of cookies at our wedding. It was glorious. I'm not Italian, but that area that my mom grew up in was, and so that was just one of the traditions her family kind of absorbed from the area. And so my mom has always been a baker. One of my favorite kinds of cookies that she makes they're called clothespin cookies, where you take puff pastry and you roll it out really thin, and you then cut it into strips and then wrap it around seasoned clothespins, which the whole process of seasoning clothespins takes hours and days and all of that. And she's used the same ones year over year, and actually gave me a bag of seasoned clothespins as a Christmas gift one year, which was really fun. And I have made them myself. They're a lot of work. So you wrap the puff pastry around the seasoned clothespins, you bake that, and you slide it off the clothespins, then you fill it with this delicious filling that is Crisco and cream cheese. Is it cream cheese? I don't remember the recipe. It's deliciousness. It's so good. And then you dust them with powdered sugar. They're really delicious straight out of the freezer. And I love them. Other favorites, she makes these, her cutouts are just a really good standby. She also makes these, she just started this last year and they were delicious. They're copycat recipes of the cranberry bliss bars from Starbucks, and they tasted exactly like them. Those were delicious. And she has like these little cheesecake tarts that she's made for years, and these like coconut cookies that they're like the Hershey Kiss cookies, but the base is coconut, like a macaroon, and it has a Hershey Kiss pushed in the top. Like, oh my gosh, now I'm hungry. Now I need my mom's Christmas cookies. So that would be my question. Now that I've just gone on a whole tangent about Christmas cookies. What's your favorite kind of Christmas cookie, if you have one? Or I guess other Christmas treat of some sort. I'm just gonna go dream of cookies now. So yeah, that was that kind of question and spin-off. When's the last time you celebrated a white Christmas? Okay, it's been a few years, but I know we had at least one when we flew back to the Midwest, because I have pictures of Connor like checking out the snow, because it's a novelty. We live in Southern California, and so snow is not a thing here. And so he was super tickled to like be like, oh no, we're seeing snow, and it was a treat because it was a white Christmas. It's probably been for 4 or 5 years, but it was really fun and really special. My mom was just telling me, my mom and dad were saying that the weather, the way it's looking, they think they're actually going to have a white Christmas this year, which is, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little sad we're not going to be there like at Christmas and get to be there for that. But how about you guys? Like I said, this video should be going up on Christmas Eve. Is it currently snowing? Is there snow on the ground where you are? If you're in a climate that has snow at this point, I know some of you listening may not even be in the US. It may be summer where you are. But yeah, what's the weather like where you are? Ooh, this is kind of a spin-off, this next question. But it's different enough that I'll still ask it. So this is saying, just more generally speaking, what's your favorite kind of Christmas food? So it doesn't have to be a Christmas cookie, but is there another kind of food that you have around the holidays that is your favorite? Well, growing up, when we would drive up to my extended family to spend Christmas with them after Christmas morning at home, we always had potluck style, and there was always a ham, like a giant honey baked ham, and oodles of sides. There was always like a corn casserole and a green bean casserole and a big salad, and there was this, my grandma made it, which she passed away this year, so this is going to be our first Christmas without her, so I'm sending lots of love to especially my mom right now, and her siblings, which my love and heart are with you if you are celebrating Christmas and it's marking a first that you wish that it weren't. So much, much, much love to you. But she made this is just so quintessentially Midwest, I feel like, but it was like this Jell-O pretzel dessert. Like the bottom layer was crushed up and rolled out pretzels that had been mixed with like melted butter was the bottom layer. And then there was a layer of strawberry Jell-O with actual chopped up strawberries mixed in. And then the top layer was like mixed together cream cheese and whipped cream. And it was really delicious, like highly unhealthy, I'm sure. And very like I said, I feel like quintessentially Midwest. But it was really good, and I liked it as a kid. So I have lots of fond associations with sort of that potluck approach to Christmas, for sure. So I don't know if there's really a specific dish besides kind of that dessert. And ham, like we don't really eat a lot of ham except around the holidays. So kind of I think of that as that's like a holiday food to me. Yeah, how about you? What's your favorite Christmas food or cuisine? anything like traditional or something. I know like out here, a lot of people are doing tamales. So that's a thing too. What is the message that Christmas brings to you? Ooh, a nice cheesy heartstrings question. I like to just use it as a time to like reflect and to, I don't know, just to be grateful for what I have and to like kind of like look back on the year and stuff like that. And I do have some religious beliefs that are meaningful to me, and so Christmas has like that sort of meaning for me personally as well. But it just tends to be like a time of reflection and appreciation as well. And family. For me, it means a lot of just time with family and with the kiddos off school and stuff like that. Let's see. When do you start shopping for Christmas? This could be a controversial one. Not a controversial one, but I think that we'll have answers all over the board. Well, I will say that it is currently less than a week to Christmas, and I still have quite a bit of shopping still to do. This year has been sort of exceptional, not in the best way as far as wrenches being thrown in my plans. And so I'm trying to hold it loosely and just be okay with like the whole Christmas gift situation for others. It's just not going to be perfect. And that is okay, because I'm sure that people want me to be taking care of like my physical and mental health and stuff like that. But ideally I would start shopping around Black Friday. I would like to have my Christmas shopping done well before this point, but I know I've heard of some people that literally they do all their shopping like on Christmas Eve, and you know what? If that works for you, good for you. That would not really work for me. And then there's some people that are like, I want to have all my Christmas shopping done by December 1st, which props to you as well. Yeah, so I guess my answer to that question is not soon enough. Let's see. No, I'm not asking those questions. Those are not little ear friendly. Hold on one second. Okay, so sorry. There were some weird questions I want to skip past. So, do you prefer giving gifts or receiving gifts? And there will be no judgment if you're like, I prefer to receive gifts. I feel like my love language is acts of service, and so I really thoroughly enjoy giving gifts, especially when I feel like I've been able to like think through and really find what I feel like, oh, this is the perfect gift for this person. So I love giving gifts, but it also like it makes my heart really happy if I receive a gift that I feel like is any gift at all, really, because it doesn't even matter what it is. It truly is the thought that matters to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, they thought of me. They went out of their way to do this thing and send it to me and package it up. And so they're both special, I feel like. On Christmas Eve, if this is a tradition that you celebrate, and we do believe in Santa, so on Christmas Eve, what do you leave out for Santa? So we leave out a note. Right now, Connor's the one writing the note because Micah isn't really quite writing yet. But Connor writes a little note for Santa, and we leave out some carrots for his reindeer. We leave out a little bowl of sugar for Rudolph, and we leave out some cookies for Santa and a glass of milk, of course. My friend had made these really cute personalized mats a couple Christmases ago that I had picked up, that they're just so cute. They have like cute little spots where you can leave things out. And we don't have a chimney in our house, so we do have to make sure that that Santa's able to like use his magic to get into our house safely and all of that. So that's what we leave out for Santa on Christmas Eve. Speaking of Christmas Eve, do you have any Christmas Eve traditions? Which today is Christmas Eve. Growing up, like I mentioned earlier, my family always went to a Christmas Eve service at our church. It was usually late. And then after that, we would come home and we'd each get to open one gift. Now, having kiddos of our own, we don't really have any like major Christmas Eve traditions just yet. I do get matching Christmas jammies for the kiddos to wear and come down on Christmas morning. Usually we try to like read some kind of Christmas themed book that the kids pick out. And like I said, we leave out some goodies for Santa and his reindeer. We haven't really, I can't remember if last year, I don't think we did. We let the kids pick out like one gift each to open. I think we just waited till Christmas morning. But that could be something fun that we could add in, like, because mommy and daddy bring gifts. Sorry, I'm talking like I talk to my kids. So like we give some gifts and then Santa gives some gifts. So obviously not all the gifts are out on Christmas, on Christmas Eve, but some of the gifts from the kids' mom and dad from us are out. So that's kind of our Christmas Eve traditions. Do you guys do the matching pajamas thing? I feel like, again, this is, my millennial is showing. But I like the matching pajamas thing. To be fair, Adam and I don't wear the matching pajamas. We just get cute matching pajamas for the kids to wear. I don't know. I'm not really about like the matching pajamas for Adam and I as well, but that's, I don't know, maybe that's because I don't necessarily like the selections that are out there for adults as much. I don't know. What do you guys do? Yeah. Let's see. Have you ever gone Christmas caroling? Is this a thing as much outside of the United States? According to Love Actually, this is a thing in like the UK. I have never gone door to door Christmas caroling. I don't think I really ever have. Even though I grew up in a small town where something like that maybe would have made sense, but it was mostly, oops, sorry about that. It was a pretty rural area, so maybe that's one of the reasons why not. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't really do Christmas caroling, but we did sing Christmas carols at like the Christmas Eve service at the church, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. Have you ever built a gingerbread house? I had never built a gingerbread house growing up, but we have built a couple with our kids before. I don't know why. It just was never really a thing when I was growing up, but we have gotten some in the past for the kids, because you can get them at like Trader Joe's or grocery stores and stuff like that, and that can be kind of fun. But Connor is into it. Micah, he's my 4-year-old. He would just probably want to try to knock it down. That's just his personality. He's basically a cat. It's what we joke. Yeah. We haven't done one this year. I don't know if we'll try to pick one up to get or not. Maybe. Okay. Try to name all of Santa's reindeer. Can I name all of Santa's reindeer? You know, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Okay, I guess I can. I should have given you guys a second to answer. To type as fast as you can. Do you know them off the top of your head, or are you like, the who? The what? Rudolph. And then Crasher and Slasher and no. That's a whole different kind of set of reindeer. Finish this elf quote from the movie Elf. Please tell me you guys have seen the movie Elf. Are you ready? The best way to spread Christmas cheer is... Are you all yelling it in the comments? Singing loud for all to hear. Can I just say, though, that his, like, candy spaghetti situation made me sick to my stomach just to look at. Gosh, it's been years since I've watched Elf, but I should rewatch that movie. I wonder if that's, like, aged well, or if people are like, uh-oh. Do you guys enjoy the movie Elf, or is it not totally your jam? Okay, we finished a section, you guys. Look at this cute little bear. So I guess I gotta, this is the bottom of one column. I'm gonna have to tape off the next column real quick, and maybe we'll keep working on this bear a little bit. That would be really cute, right? Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna tape this off so you guys don't have to wait for me. And we're back. So I figured we'd go ahead and continue with our cute little bear section here. Keep working on this little guy. So brief little intermission from the questions here. What are you guys doing while we work together, especially if you came in late and missed the beginning? Hi, welcome. I'm really, really glad you're here, and I hope that you are staying safe and healthy. I lost my cute little dragon minder. Where did it go? That's okay. We'll just use this minder instead. Oh, there it is. That's okay. We'll still give the other minder some love. Are you crafting at the moment? Are you working on like some last minute holiday prep? Are you watching the replay? What are you up to? Mental health check-in. How are you feeling? Are you doing okay? Remember to go drink some water. If you need to make a little excuse to go grab a breather for yourself, please feel like it is okay to do so. I want you guys to be taking care of yourselves, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this diamond painting. I'm not sure if I'll have it quite finished before Christmas, but that's really okay. I'm actually thinking that I might want to drive up to the Diamond Art Club pop-up up in LA again to see if they might have any more of that tuxedo Christmas kit in stock, because we adopted a kitten a couple of days ago. We've been talking about it for, oops, let me just make a mess. We've been talking about it for months and years at this point. And if you want to hear me talk all about that and what that whole process and everything was like, I would encourage you to go and listen to my WIP and chat from last week, and I talk all about the whole process and everything. But I actually filmed that WIP and chat a couple of nights ago, and so a little update here. Our kitten is adjusting really, really well. Has even met our older cat, and they had a very, very good first brief meeting. We are really, really happy with how that went, and we're going to continue to introduce them gradually. The kitten, who it seems like maybe the name from the shelter is going to continue to stick, but his name is Skip with 2 P's, and he has warmed up to us quite a bit. He adores Connor, which this is kind of Connor's kitten, actually, really. He has warmed up to Connor beautifully. He always comes up to Connor to play and is just very, very patient. Connor's very careful and very, very loving, but I feel like I'm seeing the start of a really sweet bond between the two of them, and it's making my heart so incredibly, incredibly happy. Now, I did get some grief in my last WIP and chat because I talked a whole heck of a lot about this kitten that we adopted, but I failed to pay the kitten tax. And so I am going to put up a picture here for you guys of our adorable little kitten. And you guys, like I said earlier, I am very seriously considering driving up to the Diamond Art Club pop-up to see if they have any more of Tuxedo Christmas in stock, because the kitten in this kit looks nearly exactly like Skip does. I cannot get over the black with white markings. I love Skip's little mustache. It is just the best thing ever. And the thought of working on a Christmas kit that has this kitten that looks exactly like this kitten that we just adopted for Christmas, like, my super overboard extra heart is like, yeah, I want to go. It's like an hour drive with no traffic. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But I am so incredibly tempted, because that would be like, I want to work on that kit so incredibly badly. And like right now, like around the holidays, we're leading up to Christmas Day. It would be so much fun, but we'll see, you guys. We'll see. But there was that kitten tax. My apologies for depriving you all last time. But Skip is fitting in beautifully with our family so far. And we'll see what happens when we start giving him access to more of the house. Right now, he's still just just chilling in Connor's room. We're kind of letting him get acclimated in there and making sure that our older cat has the chance to really settle and get used to the idea of having another kitten running around, a kitten running around. So that is the cat update that I couldn't resist giving you guys. So let's go back to, we have time to do a few more of these tag questions still. Once I wrap up this video, this premiere, if you're watching it live, I will be sure to link to the next person on the schedule, which I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not sure. There have also been some last minute changes as well. So I will just, if I'm in the chat, I'll do my best to link to it. And if nothing else, I'll try to also have it linked in the description box so that if you want to keep having some company this holiday, you can check that out. So lots of creators have come together to put this together for you guys and are really, really thrilled and excited to be doing so. So definitely take advantage. If nothing else, come and revisit the playlist to rewatch some of these videos that you missed at a later time, because I'm telling you what, mine is super just chill. We're just hanging out and talking about Christmas and answering some tag questions. I'm loving what the creativity and everything that I'm hearing that some of my fabulous fellow creators are doing. So be sure to go and check out that playlist, which I'll link below too, so you can see what else people have been doing. Let's see. Okay, this is a question that I'm going to try to keep it really lighthearted, but I think it's funny because I have a funny story to go with it. Going back to the tag question. So what is the worst Christmas gift you've ever received? And I'm going to spin this as kind of like, what's sort of the funniest Christmas gift? Like, not like a, oh my gosh, this was like the worst thing ever. But I just have a really funny story. I have kind of a quirky uncle on my mom's side of the family that was just kind of notorious for giving like some off color or like not at all age appropriate gifts. And I remember when I was four, and there was a package under the tree with my name on it that was long and skinny, and my parents took one look at that and were like, oh, Katie, I think this was a mistake. I don't think this one was actually for you. I was very confused because I was like, no, it has my name on it. It says it's from Uncle so-and-so. And they're like, no, we're going to talk to him. We think this was like, he put the wrong name on this one, because they saw that. They just took one look at that package. They knew exactly what it was. Do you guys know what it was? Do you know it was inside this long, skinny package with a maybe not totally age-appropriate gift for a 4-year-old? Have you seen A Christmas Story? It was a BB gun. And he had not asked my parents. He did not check. He just got it because he was like, yeah, she'd like this. That was the funny part, is that it always came from a place of like, this is what I would have liked when I was their age. But it's like, I don't know how much it was like he didn't think to ask, or he kind of liked the idea of maybe doing something that would like put someone in an awkward position, or like if he just liked the idea of kind of stirring up some trouble or whatnot. But I remember seeing that like in the attic. It was, I don't know why, my parents like kept it in the attic wrapped for a while. And I like came across it at one point. I was like, Mom, what even was in here? It was like years later. And she's like, oh, there's a BB gun in there. And I was like, this is what Uncle so-and-so tried to give me when I was 4 at Christmas. She's like, mm-hmm. And he had a way of doing that with your cousins. That's why we almost weren't surprised when we saw it, and we knew exactly what it was when we saw the packaging. So yeah, though this was something that he had done before. And didn't go over well with my cousin's parents either. So I think he kind of just liked the idea of sort of stirring up a little bit of trouble, honestly. So I'll go with that. So funniest story, or I suppose worst in a way, gift that you ever received. But I'm truly trying to keep it light and not like, you know, a sad memory. This isn't going to work in chat. No, I'm not. This is like, make a noise to say how excited you are about Christmas. I don't know. I'm not like super excited for Christmas this year, so that's my really lackluster, sad excitement voice. It's just because I have so much on my to-do list right now. My excitement's not there, but you can attempt to make a noise that says how excited you are for Christmas in the chat. Let's try to type something out. Let's see. have you ever built a snowman? How many of you just sung that song in your head? If you're a parent, I pretty well guarantee that you did. I'm not going to sing it because I don't need to get in trouble with YouTube, but you know the one about asking, like, do you want to build a snowman? Yeah, no, when I lived, yeah, I totally have. I was always kind of underwhelmed by it. But yeah, no, I did, because I grew up in the Midwest. We had snow. That was a thing. Never came to life like Olaf, though. That would have made it way cooler. Yeah, I don't know. I was one of those kids that it was like, I felt so bad for my mom because she would, you know, like if you're a parent and you live where there's snow, you have young children, you probably empathize with this, but you probably spend like 15, 20 minutes just like getting your kids all situated to go play out in the snow, like snowsuits, boots, hats, mittens, all the things. Only for your kid to go out for like 5 minutes and then be like, okay, I'm done. Like, no. You have to stay out there for at least as long as it took me to get you ready. Look at that. Can you see the drills over that color of that tray? Isn't this tray so pretty, by the way? That red and green filament shift. This is one of those ones that like, I don't remember what the name of the filament is, but it's one of those ones that it prints and she never knows, like it's not going to turn out the exact same way twice. It's going to vary a little bit. And so I was really excited when I got this one. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's Christmassy, even though that's not like the only colors in this filament. I was like, I'm getting that one because it's perfect for Christmas. So yeah. Next question that we'll go with, what would be your dream place to spend Christmas? I feel like there's part of me that would enjoy like being somewhere where I'm guaranteed snow for Christmas, like going up to like Big Bear or you know, like the mountains or something like that. There's a part of me that would really enjoy spending Christmas like at Disney World, but I wouldn't want to do it with Disney World Christmas crowds. My dream would be to be able to do Christmas at Disney World, but with like low crowd level. So I could actually enjoy all the decor, all the special like character costumes and special like Christmassy events and stuff like that. And yes, I think Disney World over Disneyland, because Disney World just has like so much, so much to offer. Like there's just so much more to it, which I live 15 minutes from Disneyland and I've been to Disney World a couple of times, including on my honeymoon. So I can speak a little bit from experience that I do enjoy the experience of Disney World a little bit more. Maybe also because it's an unknown. Like I've done a lot of time that sounds like I went to jail. I've done a lot of time at Disneyland, but not nearly as much time at Disney World. So I'm like, there's more to explore and stuff at Disney World itself. So maybe that would be my dream vacation. Also, or way to spend Christmas Day. Also like having all my family in the same area. That would be like a really nice dream too. To not have some of our family across the country. That would probably be part of it as well. So let's see. Have you ever celebrated Christmas it says in another culture? Yeah, I guess like, have you ever celebrated Christmas like in another country, or maybe like, yeah, I guess in sort of just a different context than you normally do? That's kind of an interesting question. I have not, but that would be kind of interesting to do. And I guess I was trying to think of like how to end this. It's one of these last questions here is, what's your one Christmas wish for this year? I feel like I want to go the Miss Congeniality route and go like, world peace, world peace. I made Adam watch that movie for the first time recently. He had never seen it. And I was like, how have you never seen Miss Congeniality? And so that was fun. I was like, there's a lot of lines in this movie that like, I'm sure you've heard before, but I feel like you need to see so you have the full context of, so you get the references for it. I guess my one Christmas wish is just that like, I don't know, it's kind of almost like looking ahead to the new year even. I just kind of am hoping that the new year is a chance for a little bit of a fresh start. There's been some tough stuff about like the end of the year here, and so I'm looking forward to what January may have in store. But I did see someone post recently, they're like, no one claimed 2023 as your year. We're just gonna like let it come in nice and quiet, like, and we're not gonna try to stir up any trouble. We just want to have a year where there's no shenanigans, and all of that. Just like a peaceful, nice, calm year ahead. And that's honestly, it's kind of the feeling that I'm having. I'm like, I just want to have a little bit more peaceful and restful of a new year ahead. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as we kind of come to the end of a year and the holiday season. It really does. It puts me in very much a reflective mood and just sort of thinking back on the past year and looking to the year ahead. I try not to be one that does a lot in the way of New Year's resolutions, which I guess that can be truly like the last question that I ask is like, are you a New Year's resolutions person? Or are you kind of just like a, nope, New Year's resolutions are a jinx for me? Or are you like, no, it totally works for me. I'm all about New Year's resolutions. I tend to be in the camp of not really like stating my New Year's resolutions, because it freaks my brain out. So I don't tend to really do that. But I love that there are people that it does work for. But yeah. Do you find yourself kind of looking back on the past year and then looking ahead a little bit? Or are you just kind of like, no, it's just another day. So either way, you guys, however you're kind of looking at this end of the year and this holiday season, I hope that you are doing well. Thank you for taking some time today to just spend time with me, whether you've watched this video live or you're watching the replay. I hope that I was able to keep you company for a little bit and hopefully make you feel maybe a little less alone and a little less frenetic if you're running around trying to take care of last minute things for the holidays. I am sending you so much love and peace as you're going into Christmas Day. I know that it can be hectic or stressful for some, and I pray that you're able to find joy and lots of good things in these days. Like I said, whether or not you're actually celebrating the Christmas holiday or if you are celebrating other holidays, if you're celebrating Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or any other holidays that are going on this time of year. I apologize that I'm not familiar with many, but I would say happy everything, merry always. And yeah, so I am going to link to where the next premiere is going to be. I would love for you to hop on over to that next person's premiere and see what they're doing. Like I said, be sure to check out the playlist. I think that there are going to be some really, really fun videos as part of this event. And a huge thank you to Crashley for organizing this year. It has been a huge undertaking, and I'm so grateful that we had someone that has been willing to make it all happen, because I've gotten to be a part of this for a year or two now, and I really enjoy it, and I love what the meaning behind all of it is. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, by the way, and you want to continue to stay up to date with my different diamond painting projects, and I do WIP and chats kind of like this each Monday, I'd love to have you here. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I share new videos. No worries at all. If not, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out for any length of time whatsoever. But we got a little bit of work done on the spare. I'm going to let you guys go because I don't want to run over into the next creator's premiere. But take care of yourselves. Please stay healthy and have a really wonderful holiday and New Year. I'll talk to you guys again real soon. All right. Bye, friends.